Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're taking a closer look at what's really happening with the Bates daughters-in-law and the very different ways they're sharing the stage of life. In this video, something subtle but interesting starts to stand out when you pay attention to how these moments are being presented. On the surface, everything looks familiar, but the deeper you look, the more it feels like there's a shift in how these stories are being told. It's not about big announcements or dramatic changes, but about the tone, the choices, and what each moment is quietly revealing. There's a difference in how this chapter is unfolding, even within the same family, and it says more than you might expect. So let's get into it and see what's really going on behind these updates. Within the Bates family, which has long been known for sharing glimpses of their everyday lives, there is always something interesting to notice when you look a little closer. Each member, including the daughters-in-law, brings a different perspective to the same kind of life stage. Lydia Bates and Whitney Bates may both be part of the same family, but the way they share their motherhood journeys feels noticeably different while still connecting in subtle ways. This contrast does not create distance. Instead, it highlights how personal and varied the experience of becoming a mother can be. When their posts are viewed side by side, what stands out is not just the difference in style, but two distinct moments within the same larger story. That is where everything begins to feel more layered, because each of them is showing a different side of the same journey. Whitney Bates brings the focus to the very beginning of that journey, a stage where everything is still about preparation. In a simple story post, she is seen sitting in a salon chair with her hair mid-process, paired with the caption, "Fresh hair before this baby comes." It is an easy, casual statement, but it carries more meaning than it first appears. Whitney is not trying to turn the moment into something glamorous or overly styled. Instead, she presents it as a normal, everyday part of getting ready for what is ahead. While many people focus on baby essentials or hospital checklists, she quietly highlights something more personal, which is how she wants to feel going into this next phase. In that small moment, she shows that feeling ready is not always about what you have prepared, but also about how you prepare yourself. There is also a practical side to Whitney's decision that becomes clearer the more you think about it. This is not just about wanting to look good for the moment. It reflects an understanding of what life will look like after the baby arrives. Choosing a hairstyle that will grow out well over time suggests that she is already thinking ahead, knowing that frequent salon visits may not be realistic in the months to come. It is a quiet kind of planning that feels grounded in real life. Whitney is not only taking care of herself now, but also setting herself up for a smoother transition later. What seems like a small detail actually reveals a thoughtful approach to the changes she is about to experience. At the same time, the moment carries an emotional layer that is easy to miss if you only look at it on the surface. When Whitney shares that getting her hair done makes her feel more ready, it becomes more than just a routine appointment. It starts to feel like a personal checkpoint, a way of marking that she has reached a certain level of readiness. There is a sense of relief in that idea, as if this simple act helps her step into the next chapter with more confidence. In a period filled with uncertainty, small decisions like this can create a feeling of control. Whitney does not over-explain it, but the meaning is still clear. Sometimes, the smallest moments are the ones that carry the most weight. From there, the story naturally shifts toward Lydia Bates, who is already living in the phase that Whitney is preparing for. If Whitney represents the anticipation before everything changes, Lydia shows what life looks like once that change has fully arrived. In a video she shared, Lydia presents a comparison between herself during pregnancy and herself with her baby, Kaya, 9 months later. The text 9 months in versus 9 months out frames the entire concept in a simple but effective way. It is not just a timeline. It is a way of showing that both moments belong to the same continuous journey. The soft pink dress she wears in both parts creates a visual connection that makes the transition feel seamless rather than dramatic. Lydia's approach feels more visual and emotionally immediate. She is not focused on explaining details or walking through the process step by step. Instead, she lets the imagery carry the message. In the first part, she appears alone, calm, and full of anticipation. In the second, she is holding Kaya, with the same soft tone but a deeper sense of fulfillment. The shift is not loud or overwhelming. It is quiet and steady, almost like the natural unfolding of something that was always meant to be. Lydia does not try to highlight the harder parts of motherhood. She focuses on the warmth of the present moment, and that choice defines the entire tone of her content. That same feeling continues in another post where Lydia shares moments with both of her children, Riker and Kaya. With the caption, "My sweet little angels," she keeps her words simple while allowing the visuals to speak. In the images, Kaya is seen learning to stand and walk with support, while Riker moves more freely, full of energy and curiosity. Lydia remains at the center, connecting both of them in a way that feels natural and balanced. The photos do not feel forced or overly staged, even though there is a clear sense of intention behind them. Everything comes together in a way that feels calm and complete. What makes these moments especially interesting is the contrast between the two children. Kaya represents a stage that is still dependent and close, while Riker shows a growing sense of independence. Lydia does not need to point this out directly. It is visible through the way they interact and how they are positioned in each frame. By letting these differences appear naturally, she avoids turning the moment into something overly explained. Instead, she creates a scene that feels genuine and easy to understand. It is a quiet way of showing two sides of motherhood at once. When you look at Whitney and Lydia together, the connection becomes even clearer. Whitney is standing at the beginning, preparing for what is about to come, while Lydia is already living in that reality. They are not telling the same story, but they are part of the same timeline. Within the same family, they show that there is no single way to experience or express motherhood. One focuses on readiness and control, the other on presence and emotional warmth. Both approaches feel natural to who they are, and that is what makes them work. In the end, what makes these posts stand out is not just what is being shared, but how it is being shared. Whitney shows that preparation can be found in small, personal rituals that bring a sense of calm. Lydia shows that fulfillment can exist in quiet, everyday moments that do not need to be over-explained. They are different, but they are not disconnected. Together, they create a more complete picture of what motherhood can look like. It is not always the same, even within the same family, and that is exactly what makes it feel real. And that's a wrap on this latest look at what's unfolding with the Bates daughters-in-law. So what do you think about the way these two very different moments are being shared, especially how one leans into preparation while the other settles into the reality of it all? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, because this is one of those subtle shifts that says more the more you think about it. Do you feel like this shows a bigger picture of what motherhood actually looks like behind the scenes? Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into stories like this. Thanks so much for watching and for being here with us. And we'll see you in the next video.